The cabin lights gleamed softly as Maya Chen stepped into the first-class section of Flight 447, her navy blazer crisp, her carry-on bag rolling smoothly behind her. She smiled politely at the other passengers already settled into their leather seats, their champagne glasses catching the afternoon sun streaming through the oval windows. Seat 1A. Her seat. She lifted her bag into the overhead compartment, the familiar click of the latch bringing a small sense of satisfaction. These undercover trips always revealed the truth, the real experience her passengers faced, the authentic behavior of her staff when they thought no one important was watching. "Excuse me." A sharp voice cut through the quiet murmur of the cabin. "I think you have the wrong section." Maya turned. A man in his 50s, red-faced and broad-shouldered, stared at her from seat EC. His expensive watch caught the light as he gestured dismissively toward the back of the plane. "Economy is that way," he said, his tone dripping with condescension. Maya kept her expression neutral, her voice steady. "I'm in the right place, thank you." Seat EA. "Brad." She's obviously confused. The woman beside him, blonde hair pulled back tight, leaned forward with a fake smile that never reached her eyes. "Honey, let me help you find your real seat. First-class tickets are very expensive. I'm sure there's been some mistake." "There's no mistake," Maya replied calmly, settling into her seat. She buckled her seatbelt with practiced ease, pulling out her tablet from her personal bag. Brad's face flushed deeper red. "Karen, call the flight attendant. This is ridiculous. I paid $15,000 for this ticket, and I won't sit next to someone who clearly doesn't belong here." The flight attendant, a young woman named Jessica according to her name tag, hurried over with a practiced smile that faltered when she saw Maya. Her eyes narrowed slightly, doubt flickering across her face. "Ma'am, may I see your boarding pass?" Jessica asked, her tone professional but cold. Maya handed it over without a word. The paper was genuine, legitimate, exactly where it should be. Jessica studied it for a long moment, then glanced back at Brad and Karen, then at Maya again. "This seems... I need to verify this with the gate agent. Please wait here." "Verify what?" Maya asked quietly. "My boarding pass is valid. My seat assignment is correct." "What exactly needs verification?" "Company policy," Jessica said quickly, already moving toward the cockpit door. Karen leaned across the aisle, her voice low but vicious. "You probably stole that ticket. Or used some kind of fraud. People like you always find a way to cheat the system." "People like me." Maya's voice remained calm, but her eyes sharpened. "You know exactly what I mean," Karen hissed. "Brad, take a photo. We need evidence when they arrest her." Brad was already pulling out his phone, snapping pictures as Maya sat motionless in her seat. Other passengers craned their necks, watching the scene unfold. Some pulled out their own phones, filming the confrontation. "This is theft," Brad announced loudly, ensuring everyone could hear. "She's stolen a first-class ticket, and we're all witnesses." Two airport security officers appeared at the aircraft door, their uniforms crisp, their expressions serious. Jessica pointed toward Maya, whispering urgently to them. "Ma'am, we need you to come with us," the taller officer said, approaching slowly. Maya didn't move. "On what grounds?" "Suspicious activity. Possible ticket fraud." "My ticket is legitimate. I've committed no crime. I'm not going anywhere." The cockpit door opened. Captain James Williams stepped out, his silver-streaked hair perfectly combed, his pilot's uniform immaculate. His eyes widened the moment he saw Maya, recognition flooding his face. Color drained from his cheeks. "Captain Williams," Jessica said quickly, "we have a situation with a passenger in 1A." James opened his mouth, closed it, looked at Maya with something close to panic. He knew. Of course he knew. "Ms. Chen," he started carefully, "perhaps we could discuss this in private." "No," Maya said firmly, loud enough for everyone to hear. We'll discuss it right here. In front of everyone. Brad stood up, his face triumphant. Finally, some sense. Remove her immediately. She's making everyone uncomfortable. Maya reached into her bag, pulled out a leather wallet. She opened it slowly, deliberately, and held up her identification card. The gold-embossed letters caught the light. Maya Chen, Chief Executive Officer and Owner. Skyward Airlines. Silence crashed through the cabin like a wave. Jessica's face went white. Brad's mouth fell open. Karen's hand flew to her chest. The security officers froze mid-step. I own this aircraft, Maya continued, her voice steady and clear. I own every aircraft in this fleet. I own the airline you're currently trying to kick me off. I travel incognito 4 times a month to monitor passenger experience, staff behavior, and company culture. Today, I've seen exactly what I needed to see. She stood slowly, addressing the entire cabin. I've witnessed discrimination. I've witnessed prejudice. I've witnessed assumptions made about who belongs in first class based solely on the color of my skin. Captain Williams stepped forward, his voice shaking. Ms. Chen, I apologize. If I had known. That's precisely the problem, Captain. You should treat every passenger with respect, whether you know who they are or not. Dignity isn't conditional on status or recognition. She turned to the security officers. These 2 passengers, she gestured to Brad and Karen, have accused me of theft, fraud, and criminal activity without any evidence whatsoever. They've harassed me, attempted to have me removed, and made racist statements. I want them escorted off this aircraft immediately. You can't do this. Brad shouted, his confidence crumbling. I'll sue. I'll destroy your airline. You're welcome to try, Maya said coolly. But you'll be doing it from the ground. Officers, please remove them. Brad and Karen were escorted down the aisle, their protests echoing through the cabin. Jessica stood frozen, tears streaming down her face. Jessica, Maya said gently, you failed today. You allowed bias to cloud your judgment. You're suspended pending a full review. Use this time to reflect on whether this career is right for you. She turned to the remaining passengers, many still holding their phones, still recording. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for this delay. What you witnessed today is unacceptable. Effective immediately, Skyward Airlines will implement mandatory anti-discrimination training for all staff. We will create reporting mechanisms for passengers who experience bias. We will do better. We must do better. A young woman in seat 3B started clapping. Then another passenger joined. Then another. Soon, the entire first-class cabin erupted in applause. Maya settled back into seat 1A as Captain Williams returned to the cockpit, his shoulders heavy with shame. The engines hummed to life, that familiar vibration of power and possibility. She gazed out the window as Flight 447 began to taxi, the runway stretching ahead like a promise. Justice today, yes. But more importantly, change tomorrow. Real change. Lasting change. The plane lifted into the sky, carrying them all forward. And for the first time in hours, Maya smiled.